Welcome back to the 4ES podcast.
I'm Sean.
I'm Nick, and it's been a while.
We've been working really, really hard at trying to make this a better podcast.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
We really haven't.
We've been really busy with
school happened, and we sort of underestimated the fact that we can't really do a podcast and do school and work at the same time.
I think we can, but
it's just hard.
Stuff got in the way.
Yeah. Anywho, we're back for the third not quite so annual anymore podcast.
Maybe it'll become a monthly thing.
Maybe.
We want to keep closer to the times. We get a bit of a break. We'll hopefully get a couple more before the new year gets in our way as well.
But before we start off, we were actually thinking about changing up the format.
A
couple of announcements. We want to change up the format just a little bit.
Or at least expand on it. Expanding is the right word.
We were hoping that those who are interested in maybe trying creative writing or some sort of journalistic passion or pastime.
Basically, if you want practice and you want to promote your stuff for free,
send us a message. And if you want to start doing freelance writing for us, if you see a movie or you've seen like a trade on the sports world or anything related to what we talk about, you can write your own stories, you can write your own press announcements. If there's a local show in your city, throw it out there. Start promoting yourself.
We'll be happy to
Yeah, we definitely want to expand on this being more than just a podcast, but more like an entertainment hub and sport hub.
And not even being related to that whole thing. If you want to, practice being an editor, if you want to, help us produce this podcast.
Or if you want to do like research or something.
Exactly. If you want to help in any way and help us grow, we would be happy to have you. So,
because we want to grow, and in order to grow, we need a team. So.
Yeah, exactly. And we're happy, to meet new people and expand this. If you want to contact us, at the end, we'll give you the email. We'll post it on our Facebook, Twitter. You can right now, if you are too lazy to keep listening.
That's why we're doing this now.
Right, you can get to us on Twitter for me, Vincelli, and for you, Sean,
it's Sean Gallagher, SCANGALLAGHER 07.
Or you can write to us at podcast 4ES
at gmail.com.
No, I'm talking about Twitter.
On Twitter, whatever. Leave me alone. I'm tired.
We're also happy to announce in our own special kind of way that we're expanding the podcast to SoundCloud. For those who don't know SoundCloud, this way you can at least put your
information onto your MP3s, your iPods, your computers, because there's the download function. And it just makes it a lot easier for us because, it's smaller files, less time.
But most people, when you listen to a podcast, it's usually on the go. It's a way to kill time, and sitting at your computer screen listening to us for an hour or less might not be your forte. So at least if you can get it on your iPod or your MP3 player, that'll be really helpful. We also try to plan to keep it going on YouTube just so we can expand the views. But that's pretty much our announcement for now. So if you want to help us in any way, by all means,
let us know. And
if you fit our qualifications, which you probably already did by listening, we'll hopefully find a spot in our team
of two.
Yeah.
Anywho, today we're going to be talking about the TSN deal that went down. We're going to be talking about the announcement of Spiderman 2, Man of Steel 2.
Outdoor hockey games, soccer for those
the World Cup announcements which just came out. And I think that pretty much covers the general idea. There's a few other things we're going to weasel in there.
Out of fear, because, just in case another pod doesn't come out later in this month, we'll do some Christmas theme. We both celebrate Christmas, so you can call it holiday theme all you want, but I'm allowed to say what I want, so it's Christmas.
Exactly. Anywho, we're going to be starting off, I'm going to start off by hopping onto the Man of Steel, actually. We're going to talk about Man of Steel. The other day, Gal Gadot was announced as Wonder Woman.
Who?
Exactly. She was the Israeli girl in Fast 4, Fast 5, and Fast 6. And she got announced as Wonder Woman the other day. She's really skinny for starts.
Well, I don't think that should matter. But
it doesn't matter because they can bulk up. But first impression is that she just can't be Wonder Woman. So the first thing I kind of...
but we felt that way for Andrew Garfield
we felt
Spiderman.
That about Joker especially.
Exactly.
So like first impression, it's almost guaranteed that it's a superhero.
But at the same time, with the Wonder Woman thing, through the cartoons, she wasn't beefy or anything, but
she wasn't a twig either.
And I think it's time to start not using the twigs all the time and maybe expanding to normal-looking women.
Yes.
They'll have to bulk up, of course, because Wonder Woman is strong, and she'll for sure probably have a 6-pack or 8-pack, or she'll look like she'll have to beat us up.
That's what she looks like, by the way.
Well, she's hot.
She's hot, yes. But she...
We just offended every female listener out there. If we haven't. But yeah, she doesn't really strike me as being a Wonder Woman. Jamie Alexander, who was Sif in Thor, she has a Wonder Woman. Yeah, I agree with that.
And so it was kind of like, okay, we'll see where this goes. And then the second thing that started annoying me, this is a Man of Steel sequel to Zack Snyder's movie that came out this year. And so far we have Superman, we have Ben Affleck Batman, and we have Gal's Wonder Woman. So is it even a Man of Steel sequel anymore instead of being a Justice League prequel?
It's pretty much a lead up to the Justice League.
But then it's like going from...
It's like, doing an obvious Avengers thing.
Yeah, but instead of doing the Avengers where it's like everyone gets their own movie, it's kind of like they had Man of Steel, which could be Iron Man, and then skip all the prequel movies and just go straight to the main event.
I think they're more afraid that because of, Green Lantern really wasn't the greatest movie ever. I think their biggest fear is that they need to kind of get the big story out and then work backwards. It worked for the Hulk. It's working for the Hulk.
But if it fails, and the Hulk did have a prequel movie technically.
Yeah, but it failed.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but they failed at keeping the actor.
Yeah. But if the Man of Steel / Justice League prequel fails, like no one's into Ben Affleck, no one's into Gal, then it's sort of like Warner Brothers put all the money betting on this horse, and then that horse died before the finish line. And then all of a sudden you have a franchise that is ruined, because Man of Steel already was not exactly majorly loved. It was respected and people liked it.
I never saw it. Don't see
it. It wasn't like The Dark Knight or anything where people were absolutely ballistic. It was a lot of it was okay. So I'm a bit concerned. I think that's the appropriate word right now. And
I think there should be a concern though, because not all, but most DC movies have not turned out the way they wanted to.
With the exception of the Nolan movies.
But even then, like, I kind of prefer the more cartoony Batman movies over the I'm going to murder you Christopher Nolan movies.
Tim Burton's Batman was pretty good, but then George Clooney with the
I never saw the Clooney Schwarzenegger one. I didn't mind the Val Kilmer. I'm not saying it's the best on the planet, but I like Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Yeah, Jim Carrey as the Riddler was good.
And Tommy Lee wasn't that bad as a psychotic, hilarious Two-Face.
I remember that.
As opposed to a more serious...
Yeah, but now serious and anger and doubt and all that. That's the theme of the day. So.
But if you go by all the old comics, that's not how it was. I know it changed.
But then since I guess the 80s with Frank Miller doing the Dark Knight series, everything sort of changed to be more dark and gloomy and depressing and sad.
Well, speaking of change, which I wouldn't really call it change, going onto the sports area of the world.
Switching that up.
Are you as tired as I am of outdoor games? You probably aren't. And to the greater extent, I'm a hypocrite, because I think it's cool to see how the stadium layout is. But after that, I get tired of the game. Let me tell you that TSN has announced that the Winnipeg Jets will be doing an outdoor game in 2016. First of all, congratulations, Winnipeg. Second of all, enjoy freezing.
Yeah.
In Winnipeg.
I would hate to go and watch a game outdoors, especially
I would like it. I would think it would be a great experience, but at the same time, it's sucking like the life out of this gimmick. And I mean, the Winter Classic this year, New Year's Day, is in Michigan at Ann Arbor. It's going to be Toronto Maple Leafs, Detroit Red Wings. Two teams I don't care for, but it'll be interesting to see 100,000 hockey fans. That being said and done, January 25th, at Dodger Stadium in LA is the Ducks versus the Kings. That blows my mind. Enjoy bad ice conditions. Hockey players actually care.
It'd be more like slush.
Well, they care about how the ice is. You know, that's a gimmick right there. And then we go literally the next day. Oh, by the way, they've called these series, from the 25th on, Stadium Series. So the next Stadium Series is January 26th. The next day, New York Rangers, New Jersey Devils at Yankee Stadium in New York. Then on the 29th, once again at Yankee Stadium, it's the New York Rangers against the New York Islanders. I understand both those rivalries to the Rangers matter, but that's getting very boring to me. And then let us not forget Soldier Field, March 1st, 2014, Pittsburgh versus Chicago in Chicago. March 2nd, a Heritage Classic, BC Place in Vancouver, between Ottawa and Vancouver. And then in January 1st, 2015, Washington also has a game.
That's like planning your schedule out in advance.
I mean, but you have to, the way they're promoting all this stuff. I mean, but...
So if you could pay to go to like one of these games, which one would it be?
Well, I mean, for my friend Matthew, this way I'd actually get to go see him in Michigan. I guess I would pick the game in Michigan. But again, I'm not a Leafs fan or a Wings fan.
Nope.
So in reality, I'd probably go see the Blackhawks and Penguins because those are arguably two of the best teams around. And
two of the better teams.
A lot of the players are fantastic players. That would be good hockey.
That'd be an entertaining game.
I mean, it would be interesting to see how the game would work out in LA if these guys are going playing their shorts with knee pads on.
Do we know if the cost of these games are going to be more expensive or cheaper than regular?
It's always going to be more expensive, without a doubt. Even in Michigan, where it's 100,000 seats, it will probably be more expensive.
So we have to pay more to go freeze outside?
Pretty much. You're saying, let's go get pneumonia, or in LA's case, let's get heat stroke. And my issue with the Soldier Field game, March 1st, it's just at the end of the cold months of February, and yes, Chicago, Windy City, but the weather has been so ridiculous over the past years that I'm just not sure how this is going to work out.
Yeah, unless maybe there's like heating lamps, like embracing the stadium.
I guess you can say the one thing that's really bugging me about all these Stadium Series is put one of the New York games in 2015. Don't have two in the same year. Like, if you have to expand it, stretch it a bit. I don't know. I don't know how I would change it. I don't think I could because it's the way the NHL makes money, and they want to be like the NFL, which won't ever happen. But they want to make as much money as they can, so they'll milk it for what they got. I'm expecting a game at Wembley Stadium soon. Outdoors.
They're expecting an NFL game over at Wembley.
Well, they always do that now, though.
I know, but they want to have
a team.
Yeah, they want to have a team over there.
First, fix your Toronto situation before you leave the continent.
Anyway, speaking of leaving the continent, complaining about stadiums, you saw what I did there. You were telling me about the crane accident that happened in Brazil.
Yep.
And apparently, as I read, there was a crane that they're working on the construction of the World Cup stadiums over in Sao Paulo. And the crane, after being verified that it would be safe, just straight up collapsed and damaged like half of the stadium. And were there any deaths?
There was two.
There's two. That's terrible on both the ethical standpoint and both on the construction standpoint. Like, it's an unsafe working environment, and there's like this terrible schedule. Plus, the money that's going into the stadium is not like
astronomical.
It's huge. Plus, Brazil is already poor enough as it is, and the government could be putting that money to better use.
Well, that's the funny complaint about all of this. And I heard this on the Keith Olbermann podcast related to his show, and he was talking to a guy about the stadium collapse, or the crane collapse. And they pointed out that Brazil is a nation that, funny enough, being in Quebec where our construction is very corrupt, it's just as corrupt there, but it controls the government a lot more. So you'd figure a construction conglomerate that's controlling the country in its own way would be better at actually doing construction.
But apparently not.
Like, I don't know. What I'd like to know is what happens if the stadium's not ready, or if the World Cup, the FIFA people are like, we can't do it here. Do they go back to South Africa?
No, they won't do anything like that because
it's already go back to Vancouver if it didn't work in Russia.
But this is already like hardcore paid for. Like, other stadiums are built too. This is only one. They'll probably just have to make do using one of the the club teams. Okay. Yeah, one of the smaller, older teams. And because this one we're probably aiming to be at least 90,000 people.
I think another big concern is the protests coming out, because there were protests last year for a specific game. I think it was the Constructors' Cup, or there was something played at one of the big stadiums to prove it, and there was a huge riot. And unfortunately, apparently, it was reported that one of the police officers had actual live ammunition, not the rubber bullets or the other stuff, and hurt people because of that. So it makes you wonder. I'm not sure I would go. If I had the money to, I think I'd spend it on the Super Bowl at this point. Yeah, not the World Cup.
I would like to go to World Cup, but I don't think I'd want to head over to Brazil to go see it.
I'm not sure if I'd feel safe. I know it sounds harsh, and I know like Brazil doesn't have the sense of humor that other countries do. Look up the Simpsons stuff and how they felt about that episode, but I just don't think I'd feel safe. I know people say it's beautiful, but
we'll have to wait and see how this one develops. But the World Cup itself, though, the group stages were announced last week. Yes, last week. And all I have to say is
Group of Death.
Group G, Group of Death. Oh my goodness. We have Germany, Portugal, Ghana, and the United States all into one little group of death. I don't know.
Let's just flip a coin.
Germany, I think Germany will make it. And
how can Portugal not? It seems like it's a rule that Portugal has to make it to the next round.
It's no guarantee though. The bottom three, no guarantee, because Portugal has Ronaldo, true, but that's all they really have. Germany is an extremely aggressive team. They will go for sure. Ghana is just an amazing team. The United States have been going at it with Ghana for the past couple of months, and they're neck and neck right now. So
this isn't a knock on the United States, but for the world soccer fans, the people that aren't, they will probably be cheering against the USA, which will become one of those us versus them stories. Yeah. And that's where I see the USA actually taking momentum and actually
they can prove everyone wrong.
Is this going to be a World Cup where we actually get to see the games at night and not at 1 in the afternoon or 11 in the morning?
Brazil shares, I think, the same time zone as us, and I think they're an hour behind. We're Eastern Standard. And so I think if a game is on at 2:45, it'll be on at 1:45, for example. So we'll be watching games in the afternoon.
Just quickly, let's go through the groups and just pick one team that you think that will go far. So starting with Group A, we'll both
Group A, Brazil.
Brazil, yeah,
for sure.
Okay, Group B.
Probably Spain.
I want to say the Netherlands. I think that
I think Spain and Netherlands are going to be at each other's throats.
I think Netherlands might just have that one little,
that little inch. Push.
Yeah, exactly.
Group C.
I say Greece.
I'm going to go with Japan.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, man with the golden eyebrows.
I don't know.
Japan's a strong team, though.
Well, I just remember a long time ago when me and my friends, when Greece won the Euro Cup.
Yeah, 2004.
And the joke that they didn't even make the World Cup.
Yeah.
And so I think Greece it really wants to prove that was a fluke. We want to make it. Now, Group D.
I'm going to have to go with England. I had to think about that one.
I'm at a loss of words because I have a background in both England and Italy, family-wise, and I'm just going to go and say that they're both going to take that group.
Yeah.
I know more than one team can take a group.
Two teams will advance in the group.
You would consider that the second group of death, though?
Yes, that is the second.
Costa Rica, Uruguay.
Yeah, that's probably the second group of death. Group E.
I'm bitter that France is still there.
France, I don't think France will make it.
I still go back to thinking about the Ireland getting ripped off by the handball. It still bugs me to this day. I'm also Irish.
Zidane headbutts.
Zidane.
But I'm gonna go with Switzerland just because Switzerland.
If not Honduras.
Group F, Argentina has a ridiculously easy.
Yeah, these are mostly teams you don't see.
Yeah.
In the
Iran gave Portugal some trouble though. They beat Portugal a couple of times, but Argentina, I think that's an easy advance for them. In Group H, Russia for sure.
Yeah, I'll go for Russia too. For Group G, I'm just gonna say Portugal.
Germany. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the whole tournament.
I mean, I won't be surprised either. I'm not saying that these are definite picks. Maybe down the road, through more analysis, we'll actually maybe have a show and have a couple people pick. But in this point in time, that's who we think is going to make the groupings. So
Well, we have another big sports story that Nick's going to talk about in a few minutes, but just to separate sports from entertainment, I'm just going to go dribbling all over the new Spider-Man 2 trailer that was announced last week.
Oh, you mean Transformers?
Well, there was a dash of Transformers in there, but mainly I have two things to do with Spider-Man, two things I want to quickly go over. One, 3 villains, 1 movie. We know how that went last time that happened.
Let's just say Tobey Maguire and all those guys are pretty much abused.
Yeah. So I'm a little concerned that it's a bit overcrowded already. We have Jamie Foxx playing Electro. We have the Goblin played by Dana, forget his last name, but he was in Place Beyond the Pines and he was in Lawless. Pretty good actor. And
I'm annoyed that the Goblin would come out so soon.
Yeah.
I know if
and we have Paul Giamatti as Rhino.
That, I was excited to see Rhino and Electro at first just because it was different. It wasn't going with the other story.
Yeah.
But what bothers me is through the trailer, it looks like Rhino is a robot.
Mm-hmm. Transformer mech suit.
In a world where we're trying to genetically enhance stuff, you think that they would believe that would be more plausible, that they would make some weird effect between Rhino-esque abilities,
super armor, like skin armor,
just like the cartoon. But no, let's give him a transformer that looks like
a giant mech suit with a horn.
Yeah, pretty much like Anime Call. They want their mech suit back. And then Electro, yes, I understand you can have the giant yellow star on his head and you can't
green spandex.
But you could at the same time make it cool in a way.
I think it looks cool though.
I don't like it.
As soon as I saw it in action, I was like,
I don't like it.
I think I can learn to like it.
I feel like he's a Lego character gone wrong.
I think I can learn to like it. But my second thing I want to talk about this, and this is where I spent way too much time over and analyzing every little thing I could find. In the trailer, we have that one shot where the mystery man is walking across the screen. For those who stayed after the credits on the first one, mystery man, you know who I'm talking about. And in the background, well, it's very possible actually, because as he's walking over, we see Doc Ock's arms and Vulture's wings in metal framings behind. So, if you'll do me the honor, we have Vulture, Doc Ock, Electro, Rhino, Goblin, and the Mystery Man. That's 6.
I still think
Sinister 6.
I still think the Mystery Man is probably something like
Mysterio.
Someone else.
I think a good chance it's Mysterio. We don't know yet. I like the idea that there's 6 people. Plus, so that's an obvious setup for Sinister 6.
Yeah, of course, and that was cool.
When Harry Osborn, he's swiping the giant touchscreen computer, and he's looking at all these files. One of the files says Venom Symbionite. I'm thinking, because there's 4 Spider-Man movies, and it's publicly stated that Spider-Man 4 is only going to be partially about Spider-Man. I'm thinking a Spider-Man Venom team-up versus the Sinister 6.
That'd be very cool.
That is what my theory.
Assuming
I don't know.
They don't make Venom look like a piece of crap.
Assuming, but I'm hoping for that, and then like a Venom betrayal, so they can have their own showdown. Because there's no way Spider-Man can take on 6 dudes by himself in one movie.
Hey, he's done it in many cartoons.
Cartoons, yes, but that'd be just overkill for a movie.
That would be Michael Bay's wet dream. It would just be explosions everywhere.
And cars flying and no more city stuff. That's my theory. Take it or leave it, but if you are as giddy and over the moon about my idea, then support me, damn it.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for the Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, but if I had a choice between Captain America Winter Soldier or this Spider-Man movie, I'll be in line for the Winter Soldier first day dressed up as Captain America.
Winter Soldier looks pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie.
Because that one, we know the story, and I noticed that the Disney run stuff, they try very hard to stick to some of the storyline.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Spider-Mans have kind of been a bit erratic.
Because it's been like taking a bit from Ultimate and a bit from Amazing and a bit from the cartoon.
And then X-Men. I mean, don't get me started on X-Men. We'll be getting started on all these things next year when these come out. Speaking
of, Bryan Singer recently announced he'll be directing X-Men Apocalypse. I don't know about you, but that sounds
I still say that means that Sinister should be getting a movie sometime soon, too. I mean,
yeah, like in 2018 or something.
Get a real pale guy, put a diamond in his head, and
bam, we got it.
I'm just waiting for all the Marvel fans going, no, it's not a diamond in his head, it's something else, blah, 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 blah.
It just looks like a diamond. Anyway, we're going to be going over right now to talk about the giant WTF-worthy TSN TV deal.
I wouldn't call it WTF.
It's kind of WTF.
Well, yes and no.
It's kind of.
Well, if you're talking about the hockey deal, yes.
Yes, the
hockey
that's
deal.
Incorporated into it, and that just leads to a WTF moment.
So, as you all know, that TSN, Bell Media, they've lost the hockey rights as of next season. For 12 years, Sportsnet will be carrying all the hockey, sharing it with CBC for 4 years, and then probably killing the CBC, just like the government wanted.
Unless they make like a really lucrative deal.
There's no money going towards CBC.
Exactly.
They're getting the hockey games for free. I don't see.
Yeah.
And they don't want to spend public money, so that's where privatization gets in the way.
Yep.
But so everyone's been worried about TSN and, the quality, and this is a warning for you, that people out there that aren't the biggest sports fan. This might be a long-winded talk, so you might want to fast forward. But anyway, it was announced, I saw the other day on Facebook and on TSN, and I'm just going to try to read this properly. NFL and Bell Media have expanded their Canadian broadcast agreement. Beginning in 2014, Bell Media becomes the rights holder for NFL in Canada. That means that they have games Sunday at 1, Sunday at 4, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, all the playoff games, and the Super Bowl. Additionally, the new agreement grants Bell Media digital rights for the first time, giving Canadian fans the ability to watch NFL games and content on Bell Media and TV platforms everywhere, including on CTV Go and TSN Go. It also means that we'll be seeing, the way that they have this format, we'll be seeing games on TSN, TSN2, CTV, and CTV2. So that's a lot of football at 1 and 4. That means you have better odds of seeing your favorite team play, as opposed to constantly seeing, the Patriots every freaking week at 1.
Hey, what you got against the Patriots?
I got a lot of things against the Patriots, but we're a non-biased partisan.
Of course.
Of course, that means that Rogers Sportsnet still has Thursday Night Football, but that down the road, they'll probably lose it to Bell Media, because Bell Media is pretty much saying, we're not bowing out, we're not giving up, and we're not going to be second tier. What I see them doing with this expansion to the NFL is that they'll probably expand their NBA, they'll probably expand a bit more MLS and a bit of worldly soccer, so we'll see more EPL, maybe some
Spanish and German
Spanish,
stuff.
Italian, some of those leagues. I also think that one thing that TSN should do is they should expand the CHL, the junior hockey. They do such a great job at the World Junior Championships.
Want to give them a bit more screen time?
I think it's time for them to actually promote the juniors. I feel that Sportsnet for a long time did a very good job at that, but because they've gotten so much more rights to other things, they don't do it. I don't see it. I never see the coverage. I look for it. I want to watch junior hockey, and I never find it. I think TSN would do a good job, because they're also keeping James Duthie, Bob McKenzie, and Darren Dreger. These guys have long deals, and they're not going anywhere, which kind of segues onto what I was going to talk about with James Duthie. Was for a long time it was rumored and expected that with this new deal, although it hasn't been that long, that Duthie would come over immediately to Sportsnet and he would be the host. But because his commitment is with TSN, it's been a new rumor coming around that with this new football format, that he'll be a host of a football show now. I don't know what the ideas are going to be for TSN, because that means that they might have to cut out spots at halftime from CBS, Fox, and all those guys, which might mean that TSN's going to try to make their own panel to cater to the Canadian fans and have them understand certain things that are going on. I personally wouldn't want the CBS and Fox stuff cut out, because they do a really good job.
They do, from what I watch.
But it would be very interesting to also see kind of the Canadian perspective, instead of just
You know what you do? You buy 2 TVs and you have one of each playing on the same side.
Yeah, that's nothing like hearing a lot of garbled noise. But I just think for TSN right now, it sucks that they lost hockey. I'm disappointed. I'm a big fan of how they do hockey. I'm not that big of a fan of Rogers Sportsnet, which just cut my ties of ever getting a job with Rogers. But that's a joke. But I really think that TSN... It was also announced on Twitter by Bob McKenzie that there's still going to be a challenge in the hockey area of things, so they're going to grow in their own way and make the NHL work with them. I think they should get if they can get as many regional rights, because they have Maple Leaf and Jet rights for regional games. The HAB agreement is going to go out the door soon, but I don't see Bell giving up the Habs. And then that way what they could do is you can use Bob, you can use Darren, you can use James, have one intermission focusing on just that team, and then the next intermission focusing around the league. To compete with Sportsnet, I think they'll lose ratings. I mean, that's bound to happen.
It's definitely going to happen.
They don't have hockey, or an aspect of hockey, but I think they won't die. It's not like Bell Media is going to be like, TSN's done. No. There was a lot of jokes going around that, Jay and Dan knew ahead of time that TSN was going to go in the toilet because they don't have hockey. That's not true.
That's why they ran over to LA.
Well, losing them hurt. And I think if they lost James Duthie, Bob McKenzie, and Darren Dreger, then they might have to look themselves in the mirror and all-night basketball.
Because everyone watches basketball.
Especially Raptors fans.
Because
all of Canada just loves the Raptors. But in reality, what TSN will have to do is expand NBA, expand soccer, expand on baseball, not just this Sunday night baseball thing. Have a couple of themed games like TSN's Game of the Week. And, you pick two great rivals. And, maybe when the Blue Jays agreement cuts down, sneak in and steal some of those games. Prove that you're Canada's #1 sports leader. Don't lose that title.
Yeah. So now they're just compensate for what you don't have?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, this is I don't want to stop watching TSN. I don't frankly want to stop watching RDS for the Habs. I think it's hilarious that Hockey Night in Canada is going to be focused on the Montreal Canadiens, not the Leafs anymore, because the Leafs are going to go to Sportsnet, so Sportsnet gets the Leaf views.
So I wonder how Don Cherry is going to react to all that.
That's assuming they keep him.
Assuming they keep him, I think it'll be for some hysterical reactions. The Habs win 4-2. Oh, the Habs played a terrible game.
He's going to blame it on the ghost again.
Yeah, he'll blame it on whatever, but it's okay. He has those ties.
Well, you know what? This is going to be one of those topics that are going to be looked at for a while. And right now,
this is like a part one of like a continuous.
Yeah, I see by
debate.
Next fall, next winter, me criticizing everything Sportnet did, and it'll probably take years for me. It took me a while to get used to watching TSN. It'll take me a lot longer watching Rogers, but I'm still going to be watching it.
Because you need to get your fix.
Well, I watch the Canadians, and unless RDS...
Well, you can. If anything, you could probably hook up your computer and get American feeds.
The only thing I don't... they don't have the greatest analysis of hockey. The one thing I won't watch, or most likely won't get, is TVA Spa. I'll probably be watching English playoffs. And I will watch every RDS game, and I won't watch every TV. I'm not adding that channel to my... We're paying a lot for cable. The fact that the Habs are split sucks. It was fantastic having all 82 games on one channel. So you know what that means? TVA, you're not getting my money. But you know who might get my money? Sony.
And Microsoft.
No, not Microsoft. I'm getting a PS4.
Someone might. But yeah, the world has changed since the last time we spoke. We now live in a world where...
With robots!
But yeah, the PS4 and the Xbox One, a.k.a. the Xbone, Microsoft did trademark Xbone, are now out to the consumer. The PS4 is on stores right now for $399, and the Xbone is out for $499, an extra $100.
So you're going to get boned by the Xbone.
Yeah, well, I was looking over at early reviews and...
Bad puns.
Yay for bad puns. The early reviews, because it's the first things that are out there, it's full of bugs.
There's the complaints.
Yeah, it's full of bugs, full of glitches, HDMI ports aren't working, and there's not many games out right now.
Are they pure HD, or can they still go on a regular TV now?
I'm pretty sure HDMI, it's only on HD TVs right now.
Uh-oh.
Time to upgrade. Get out of the 90s, Nick.
Someone give me money. I need a new TV.
But
if you want to
as for me personally, I'm currently on 360. I'm probably gonna make the jump over to PS4.
Yes, high five. Louder.
There we go. But just based on the specs and the upcoming library, plus that very, very handsome price tag, just the PS4 seems a lot more alluring to me, and I think within the year, I'm in no rush whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not getting a new console anytime soon.
Yeah, within a year, give or take, at the earliest, I'll probably make the transition. But right now, like most of the games that'll be coming out will be coming out into current gen as well. So no real need to rush over unless you're like a die-hard purist.
Yeah, unless I have the money to become one of those diehard purists. Won't happen anytime soon. Again, it's related to money, people. Money!
Which we don't have.
Funny enough, it's like one person pointed out, do you want a PS4 for cheaper or do you want an Xbox that will spy on you?
I actually saw something, the Snowden files that went out.
Ugh.
Like the Edward Snowden. His, his NSA files actually.
Oh, that's nice. Wow.
That is nice. Anyway.
I think it needs more color though.
Shush. We're still recording. Sorry guys, we're tweaking our new logo.
We have OCD.
Well, you have OCD.
You have OCD.
Anyway, what the hell was I talking about?
Edward Snowden?
Edward Snowden. Apparently his...
We're not editing this out.
His files, apparently, that were leaked, included the Skype calls and the Xbox Live conversations that the NSA were monitoring.
That's disgusting.
That came out a couple of days ago, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And apparently NSA members were posing as gamers in games like World of Warcraft, and they were engaging in the conversation.
What were they looking for? The most racist gamers out there? Because it's everyone.
I don't know. Apparently gamers took me... they don't think before they speak sort of thing. And... they don't think before they speak, so they were sort of hoping like something would slip out, or like maybe they'd say something incriminating.
Like more color? Because that's related to our logo again.
But yeah, anyway.
I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, you have more things to talk about in the sports world concerning baseball.
Oh, shut up. Baseball's a good sport. If you can understand it, it's an enjoyable
ball
sport.
Hits bat hits ball goes flying.
Soccer, guy runs downfield, pretends to get hit, cries like a little baby, and then gets a card and then cries even more. We're not going to argue about the sports. Anyway, the other day for you Blue Jays fans or baseball fans in general, Roy Halladay announced his retirement the other day. He's a classy guy to the end. Signed a one-day deal just to retire as a Blue Jay. Mad props. That's right, I said props to Roy Halladay for that one. His record, or his stats for his career was he had 203 wins, 105 losses, a lifetime ERA of 3.38, 390 games started, almost 3,000 innings pitched, over 2,000 strikeouts, 67 complete games, 20 shutouts. He threw a perfect game on May 29, 2010. He was the 20th pitcher to do so. He also pitched a no-hitter in the postseason that year. He's only one of 2 pitchers to do that. He's a 2-time Cy Young winner. A major class act all the way. He's one of those guys that you wish won it all.
So in other words, he's an okay guy.
Shut up, Sean. He was probably one of the best pitchers in the steroid era who has not been alleged a steroid user. And he's a for sure Hall of Famer. Asking Scott MacArthur on Twitter, I asked him, does he see Roy Halladay coming back in any capacity in the office work? And he said he thinks that he'll make a spring training appearance to kind of motivate the young guys and maybe help the pitchers here or there. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. I hope, frankly, at this point, I hope he's the freaking pitching coach, because Toronto could use an actual winner over some of the people that they have now. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to round off this podcast by talking...
Or we'll try to, anyway.
We'll try to. Talking a little bit about the holiday cheer. What do you do for Christmas, Nick?
You're only going to me because you have no idea what to say.
I know what to say.
And I know what to say.
It's simple.
Main reason why we're doing a bit of Christmas stuff, like I said earlier in this podcast, we're a bit, afraid that we may not get another podcast out in time before Christmas. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the best ways to just at least
start it.
I mean, we don't want to have too many podcasts that are dated, but if we can get a good rhythm, then being a bit dated isn't that bad. If number 4 can at least come out before 2014,
that'd be wonderful.
We did a very good job then.
Yes.
So for me, I don't know, I guess the topic is Christmas tradition. What do we do? I do the usual stuff. The other day I put up my tree.
I put up my tree too on Sunday.
It was fantastic. It's an 8-foot tree. It's always really fun having the tree
Yeah, mine's probably around 8 foot too, 7.5 maybe, 8 foot, something like that.
It's still cool having a tree.
It goes up to the ceiling.
Yeah, me too. It's so cool having a tree bigger than you. A big tradition in my family was always watching the movie The Santa Claus. My mom always loved it. I love
watched that.
Well,
I've seen it, but it's like never the thing to watch in my place.
For me, it's always resonated because it's one of those things that really gets you believing in Santa. It makes you wish that Santa was real. I mean, can we cut that out?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
For me, my Christmas tradition would
Santa is real, kids. Ignore me. I'm on the naughty list.
He is. For me, though, my family, we generally watch Elf. We watch that a lot.
We watch Elf when we set up the tree.
Okay. We watch Elf a lot. We watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I do not like that movie.
I like that movie. It's so bad, it's good sort of thing.
I know. I just don't like Chevy Chase.
What else do we watch? What's it called?
I mean, I love Chevy Chase.
It's a Wonderful Life.
No, it's not. It's the
movie.
It's a horrifying movie.
1940s. Guy with Angel Clarence. No. We watch that all the time. Home Alone.
Home Alone, I agree with that. For me, it's a larger list. If you check my
I got
blog,
a big list too. But
I don't know the name. It's like Nickolai's. Check out Nick's blog. If not, we'll post it both on SoundCloud and on YouTube. But basically,
you're gonna post a blog to SoundCloud.
Well, under the info.
No, the information, or you can just put it onto Twitter or Facebook.
It is on Twitter and Facebook, but it's to promote the people that only look through the podcast stuff. Anyway, I've been doing blog articles. I'm trying to do the top 12 specials I enjoyed watching. Doesn't mean you like them, but I know I did. So far, I've done the Winnie the Pooh special that used to come on CBC. I just posted the Garfield special. There was other ones. The Simpsons original. That was the beginning of that show. Their first episode was the Christmas special. You've got all of the other reindeer, another Matt Groening special. Again, the Santa Claus. There's just so...
The original Dr. Seuss's Grinch.
The original Grinch. I like the Jim Carrey Grinch. The Alvin and the Chipmunk special. Oh no, I love that one. That just brings me back to childhood.
I couldn't stand those voices as a child.
No, it's stuff like that I love watching. But I've always loved going out. I love doing Christmas shopping. Last year, me and my girlfriend just decided to go into the mall. We were done our shopping, grabbed a bite to eat, and kind of just took in the atmosphere. Most of the people were happy, not as cranky. I guess for me, old tradition-wise, was me and my family used to go to Ontario to be with more family, which is one of the reasons why I more resonate with the Garfield cartoon, because that's what Garfield and John and Odie do, is they go off to the farm. I didn't go to a farm, but I went to a house on a lake, nice cottage. Very Canadian Christmas, lots of old family they haven't seen. You get to see them all there. Now most of the time it's at home here where I live, but I still really resonate. I'm a big Christmas fan. I'm a Christmas baby. I'm born a couple days before it. You can't replace Christmas for me. So I like doing all the traditional things.
I keep it somewhat simple because my family's over in Ireland and over in the prairies. So it's all just basically the general family that's at home. My grandmother used to come over. And, we'd be kicked back. We have some food. We watch a movie.
Do you guys do you do the big dinner at home on the 25th, or do you guys just kind of open your gifts and then go do what you want?
Well, we go over to the gifts, and then we always do cinnamon rolls on Christmas. We do that. And then we sort of do what we want. Then we have a dinner, but since it's dinner with the immediate family, it's sort of like just another dinner. Just we make sure it's a little fancier.
I mean, for me, what we still do wake up early, even though a lot of us wish we didn't have to.
Well, how early is early?
7, 6 sometimes.
My family's just nope.
We still do
9:30 at the earliest, man.
We still do the stocking, which is really cool.
Yeah. Mine's generally just stuffed with chocolate.
No, my mom actually will still put in the stuff. I mean, Santa. Santa does exist. Again, my mom has to replace him because I was bad. But, my mom does the stocking stuff, and then we go, after our stockings, we go to the Christmas tree, pass around the presents, open them, have a nice breakfast, play with our toys that we just got, or whatever, the new games and everything. And then my mom will usually make a really nice dinner. I have a bit of family, and I've got a large amount of family in town. But we're kind of all spread around, so we have a couple of people over. Again, like my girlfriend, a cousin of mine on my mom's side, and we do a little bit of things here and there. We stopped doing the traditional turkey because we're tired of turkey. We actually have meat like Chinese fondue, and I think that's awesome.
Interesting.
That kicks Christmas up a notch for those Futurama fans out there.
Why not? Everyone has to spice up Christmas in their own way. I'll be having a nice brew of whiskey, I imagine, while chillaxing, watching some movie that's probably not Christmas related.
You'll be watching Flight.
No, I've already seen it.
Or Bridesmaids.
Oh god, no, I don't want to see it.
I heard that was a really bad movie.
My sister likes it.
My mom and my sister despised it. They thought it was a waste of time.
Anywho,
Clash of different opinions.
We're at the 45-minute mark. We're gonna...
No, 45.45.
We're at the 45-minute mark.
Oh, we're almost going to hit 46.
We are going to call that a day.
So, just for all y'all out there...
Don't say y'all.
Why not?
Guys.
Why not?
Guys.
You have no reason.
You ain't from Texas.
Anyone who went to the high school we went to, apparently Texas is a lot closer than it seems. For all of you out there, just to remind you, again, we are looking for people who want to help expand this podcast, maybe expand a blog.
Or if you have any suggestions that we completely forgot about.
Exactly. If you have an idea, even though you don't want to be part of this, if you have ideas on how to make this better, let us know. We're happy to get, advice, suggestions, if you want to write for us, if you want to help us produce, if you want to edit. If you want to even
get
be
the
like
snowball rolling.
If you want to be the social media guru and to help us mess around with
that, maybe we'll give you the password.
We might, or you might just do the stuff when we're around. But again, follow us at _nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Where are we following? Are we following the Twitter now?
We're going to do Twitter first. So at Vincelli, so NVINCELLI. That's my Twitter handle. Yours is
at Sean Gallagher 07.
And our podcast is at podcast_4ES. Don't forget to find us on Facebook and like us.
We'll be on SoundCloud now.
Exactly.
So hook that up to your Facebook because
just look for 4ES podcast.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll hook it up to the Facebook and it'll just make life that much easier.
So we'll have it on Facebook. We'll hopefully have it on YouTube.
Well, no, by the time they hear this, it will be on YouTube and it will be on SoundCloud.
I'm just saying that in general, the general consensus for us is that we want it on YouTube, want it on SoundCloud, have it on Facebook, and have it for ways for you to enjoy and listen. Again, any suggestions, now leave comments below. We're happy to answer you. We'll hopefully post the email, so if you don't want to, just write randomly on our wall, or if you can't direct message us for some reason, we'll hopefully have the email up soon so you can send to the podcast email suggestions, or if you want to join and help us expand this podcast.
In short, if you're interested, let us know.
So we hope you guys have a great day. We hope you all have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year.
And if you remember your New Year, shame on you. Just
remember, when you do a New Year's resolution that I'm going to lose weight, and then you stop a week later, that's just you lying to yourself.
Yeah, don't do that.
Have a great day, guys. Have a great Christmas. I'm Nick.
I'm Sean.
Have a great day.
Toodles.